In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 weekly routines that you can do to instantly have more energy. Welcome back to Wealth Wednesdays, where I help you rise into more worthiness and wealth. And if you are new to my channel, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button so that you get notified each and every Wednesday when I post brand new content. So let's dive into this topic. How do you start having more energy? I get asked this question all of the time, and I want you to think about this specific statement and even get a pen and paper out. What am I feeding myself? Nutritionally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. These are the steps that we're going to go through today, because oftentimes we don't think about, other than food, what am I actually consuming on a weekly basis? And I'm just going to call my husband out with love. I love him dearly, but I'll go downstairs and I'll see him watching the news and he's on his phone. So he's like, oh, it's in the background, it's okay. And I'm like, hey, that's a lot of negativity that you're just absorbing subconsciously. The subconscious mind is always picking up on everything in the environment, because your conscious mind can only focus on a couple things at a time, but the subconscious is always recording. So I always say to him, turn that off, turn on diners, drive-ins, and dives, something else that isn't so draining, because the news is a really low frequency. So I want to talk about that. Let's dive into what are the things that you are consuming on a weekly basis. So the first thing that we want to look at is, are you consuming positive content? What podcasts are you listening to? YouTube videos? Are you watching the news? Are you looking at certain things that drag your energy down, or reading certain things? And jot this down. So what are you consuming on a weekly basis? What can you release? And what can you add? So that's going to be the theme of this entire video, is releasing to make space for new things to come in, new habits, new behaviors. So ask yourself, what would actually uplift me? So hopefully watching this video, watching YouTube videos on a weekly basis, I am feeding myself constantly with all different types of teachers, whether it's business or spirituality, reading high vibrational books like David Hawkins. I love David Hawkins if you haven't read his books yet. Those are the things that I am putting my attention into and plugging into. So jot that down for yourself. What are the things that you can start plugging into and things that you can start releasing? And this might even be a newsletter. So if you had subscribed to a newsletter that just doesn't resonate with you anymore, maybe it was online, or you have a magazine subscription or something else that you have that you're reading and consuming on a weekly basis, let go of it. Be willing to let go so that you can let in new content that is going to uplift you, because everything that we plug into affects our energy. Everything we plug into affects our energy. So comment on that and let's anchor that in together in the comments below. The second thing I want you to think about, so first we talked about absorbing content. We want to talk about nutrition. What are you actually feeding yourself? Is it food that's going to energize you? Is it food that is going to nourish you? Or, and again, there's no judgment whenever I'm doing these videos, I hope you guys know that. Or is it something that is draining you and dragging your energy down? Some of the things that I wanted to share with you, and I don't eat perfectly, but I always have high protein snacks. So I love these edamame beans. They have protein, 11 grams of protein. And I also love, this is actually fun for fall, these no-cow protein bars. So always having some kind of, protein snack that you can eat. I also have these are fun too. Bunny grams. I wanted to show you, I don't eat perfectly. I definitely enjoy myself as well. But following something like the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the food that you consume is going to be edifying you, nourishing you, allowing you to have more energy, and then leaving some fun, 20% for fun. So that could be a glass of wine. It could be, the little bunny grams. I love bunny grams with peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I don't know if you guys know that, but leaving space for some fun as well because we can derive so much pleasure from food. So it's not just about being perfect or having your energy be pristine and absolutely flawless. It's about you working with your energy and what feels good for you. And maybe you adapt a couple of these things and you're saying, okay, like the nutrition thing I really want to work on, or hey, I want to start plugging into some positive podcasts, whatever that might be for you. So don't feel like you need to be overwhelmed with doing all of these suggestions. I'm just giving you things that you can do that you can slowly integrate over time. So thinking about, what are you eating? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Are you eating meals like you're forgetting to eat lunch or something like that? When we have a balanced blood sugar, when we have protein, carb, and fat at every meal, and I'm not going to go too much into nutrition, your blood sugar is nice and balanced, your energy is balanced. And, I used to teach diabetes. I am a health coach. And so I've studied a lot of this where, I do this as well. I space out my meals. I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours because oftentimes what happens is when we feel low blood sugar, it can manifest as anxiety. So you want to be sure that you are balancing your blood sugar, eating, feeling into your body. What feels good for me? Do I need water in this moment? Do I need a walk? Do I need fresh air? What can I do in this moment that will energize me? And so often we go for things like coffee. I'll be the first to admit I love coffee. And in that moment, when you're craving something or you're craving chocolate or some other junk food or whatever that might be, what am I really desiring? What do I really need in this moment is a great question to ask yourself. So we went over point number 1, looking at the content you're absorbing. Point number 2 is your nutrition. Point number 3, meditation. Meditation has been a game changer, and I want to show you this brand new oil that I got. I don't sell Young Living, I used to, but acceptance. This is such a great oil that I've been meditating with. And what happens in meditation is that you literally decrease the resistance of any kind of thoughts that are coming up that might be negative, that might be charged. I always think of meditation as, when you were little, if you ever did this, I always laid on the grass during the summer and I would just watch the clouds go by. And so you can think of your thoughts as just clouds going by. You're not trying to control them. You're just observing them. And the more that you wire your brain in meditation to purely absorb, oh, that's an interesting thought. Oh, there's that judgment that I always have about myself. The more that you work that muscle of meditation, the more that you're going to be able to, in your real life, off the cushion, be able to respond versus react. And it's going to be requiring a lot less energy of you, because if you're constantly getting triggered by your environment or by people, it's very draining. So when you're doing the meditation, and people are like, I don't have enough time to do meditation. I promise you, if you know the why behind it, you are going to say, I am making this a priority. So I meditate every day. I've actually started to even do it for longer periods of time. I do it for about 25 minutes, but just start off small. There is an app called the Calm app. There's also the Insight Timer app where you can have either a guided meditation, you can do just music. There's so many things that you can watch on YouTube. I also have my Ascension collection, which has over 50 meditations, varying in length, that help you reduce stress or elevate your energy. I mean, I have so many different ones there. So I'll link that actually in the comments below too. But meditation is a game changer. You feel so much more peace, so much more resilience, the ability to respond versus constantly be reacting to your environment. I promise you, if you start meditating, even if it's 5 minutes a day, it is a needle mover. Step number 4. So let's talk about journaling. So I actually wanted to share with you my journal. I love these Peter Pauper journals from Barnes & Noble. And I am constantly journaling. I probably fill up one entire journal in probably like a month's time, because I am always talking to myself, I guess you could say. Meaning if I feel self-doubt creep in, I write out all of the things of why I'm gifted, why, all of the things I'm doing right. I still do this work. I'm not perfect whatsoever. I have things come up where, if I'm stretching to the next level in my business, of course fear is going to come up. And so I'm always journaling and saying, okay, like, what do I need to release? What are the judgments that I need to let go of? Who do I need to forgive? And that's clearing my energy. Because if we actually have cords that attach energetically with other people. So if there is an ex that you had, an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, who, you're constantly thinking about them, you probably have a cord attachment energetically that needs to be cut. So again, cord cutting meditations are really helpful too for kind of freeing up that energy and liberating the just feeling drained about constantly ruminating and thinking about that person. I do this work weekly. So I am looking at, like I said, what are my judgments? Who do I need to forgive? How can I edify myself if I have any doubt creep in or any fear? These are all powerful journal prompts and techniques that you can use. Just ask yourself, what am I judging? What am I ready to release? Again, there's that theme of what am I ready to release? What am I ready to let in? Because when we're clearing our energy, guess what's available for us? More money, more opportunities, love, abundance, all of these things can come in for you, but we need to be releasing in order to let that in. And then the last thing is self-care rituals. So this is something that you can do on a weekly basis. Literally, you can make it whatever you want. It could be your self-care, it could be taking a walk with your dog. It could be taking a bath. I love taking an Epsom salt bath, and I always get different, like a lavender scent or bath bombs that I just throw in there. And it's so rejuvenating because it allows me to release and clear. Actually, salt and Epsom salt helps you clear your energy. It's very powerful. So what feels good for you to create some space for yourself and pour into yourself so that you have capacity for your children, for new ideas in your business, for projects, for all of these different things that are waiting to come in for you. But if we are so drained and depleted, how are we going to have energy for anything in our lives? So this video is intentionally made for you to just observe, right? Just purely observe. What am I ready to let go of? What am I ready to let in? And again, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with doing all the things or checking off all the boxes on this video. Come back to it. Keep coming back and watching and maybe doing one or two things, because when we try to implement way too many things, then we get burnt out. So what are one or two things that you can take from this video that you can start implementing into your weekly routine, whether it be taking a bath once a week and just really loving on yourself and having, I like to, from Whole Foods, I always get these little sheet masks, or doing a beauty routine every Sunday. I knew someone that used to do that, and like she would paint her nails and take a bath and just really create this ritual for herself. When you do these rituals on a weekly basis, I promise you are going to feel a shift. So let me know in the comments, what are you going to be implementing from all of these different suggestions here? I cannot wait to hear from you. And last but not least, like I said, make sure that you are checking out all of the links in the description box below, because I have a lot of goodies there, including my Burnout Prevention Strategies ebook that I just released. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. So anyway, make sure you are subscribing, liking, sharing this video with your audience so that more people can be helped by these videos. I will see you on the next one, and let's do the damn thing.